Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Mr. Kadim Khan and I am a lecturer in the Institute of Computing, Kuwait University of Science and Technology. Today we will take lecture number 24 of the subject of visual programming, in which we will discuss the input and output streams in Visual C Sharp.net, and this is the part second of this topic. Dear student, this is very much vast topics and understanding of this topic is very much important for upcoming lecture, which is the network programming. Here we will discuss the input output streams in very much detailed way. So stay tuned with us. This is the discussion agenda. It contains the topics of indisposable interface in C Sharp.net. Then we have the stream reader in C Sharp. Then we have the stream writer in C Sharp and file streams in C Sharp.net. XML text reader in C Sharp.net. It is very much important to read the data from the XML files. And then we have directory info in C Sharp.net. And at the end we have C Sharp create move directory. So basically this is in fact used to create a files and then move that file or the directory to another location. Now, indisposable interface in C Sharp. Basically, indisposable interface in C Sharp.net, it implement the indisposable interface class. This is the interface class which is cannot be inherited, but it can be used as an interface here. So we must have to dispose that particular function when to release the resources. So this is done by calling the dispose function in the final block or by utilizing the using statements. And this dispose function disposes or releases all the resources shares. So also it deallocates the resources from the computer system. Basically, the deallocations or the disposing the resources makes the program very much efficient. Now, this is the examples here which is using a disposable interface class here. First, we have two packages are the libraries using system. Then we have using system.io library or a package here. Then we have namespace manual release. So these two packages are important for classes that we are utilizing here. So system library is useful or used for console.writeline while system.io is used for file class or similarly stream reader class. Next we have namespace. Namespace representing the projects here. Manual release. Manual release is the name of the project. The namespace is composed of one or more than one classes. So here our class is class program. It is public class because we have not mentioned any sort of the access specifiers. So by default it is the public class. Next we have the public static void main function. This is the main function which must be in every C# program and the program execution starts from here. Next we have the stream reader class. Stream reader SR is equal to null. So that means it will read a streams and store that in SR which is identified as a null. Then we have var path is equal to @e thermoply.txt. So here this is the file and that file with the path is assigned to the var variable of the path and the data type of the path will be the values assigned to the var variable which is the string data here. Next we have the try catch statement. In the try catch statement we are reading this file. So SR is equal to new stream reader path. So here the path will be stored in the stream reader. All the data will be stored in the stream reader and then console.writeline sr.read to end. So this function will read all the stream from the SRs and display the result on the console using .writeline function. Now, if there is certain errors or exceptions, then the catch statement will be responsible for catching the exception. So catch IO exception E console.writeLine cannot read the files if there is certain input output exceptions. For example, the file is not opening or the file is has extension problems. Then console.writeLine cannot read the file, and exception message will also be displayed using e.message. And similarly, another catch statements unauthorized access exception if the file is protected and that is not read only, that is based on protected based on some password, or unauthorized user cannot access that file, then this exception will be raised and console data cannot access the files, and here the exception message will be displayed using e.message. And in the finally class we have sr question mark dot dispose. So it will dispose, that means it will close this files. So basically dispose function is used for deallocation of resources, so that here that will be disposed here. Now dear students, we will execute this code in our Visual Studio compiler. So for this purpose click on exit button, go to your Visual Studio. Here you can take the new projects here. For example, click on the file, click on the new projects. So when you will click on the file and new projects, you will ask to create the new file or new projects here. So my new project is console application 8. So I can rename it, for example, uh, file file reading. So file reading is my projects here. Create on click button, so that the file will be created here and the new projects will be created for you. So meanwhile Visual Studio is creating the new project for us, that will be the blank applications. So Visual Studio has successfully created the new projects here. You can see here the new project has been created. Now you can copy this code, or better is to copy all the code here. So just select this side first and go to your Visual Studio, delete the previous code here. You can see that that code has been transferred here. Now also you select this file on this side of the code and paste it in the below of this editor. Now the coding has been completely transferred here. To run the code, just click on debug and start without debugging. Click start without debugging. So meanwhile you will see that the code will be executed, and this is the output and this is the text inside of this files which has been successfully opened. Now we will resume our slides here. Next is another example of the stream reader. So here the stream reader reads characters from a byte streams, and the peak function, which is the function or a method, it returns the next available character but doesn't consume it. It only returns the next character but it will not consume it until it returns -1. -1 is the termination condition of the pack. So if it returns -1, so that means there is no characters to be read. Now what is the code of this program? First we have created a files here and written we have wrote some text inside of these files. Then it is assigned to the var path thermoply.txt. Then we have the using keywords using var sr is equal to new stream reader path. So that means that here the file will be transferred as a parameters to the stream reader, and the stream reader will read all the text and it will be assigned to sr using the var variable. Now while sr.peak is greater than or equal to 0, that means that if there is the number of lines that are equal to 0 until the number of lines becomes 0, that means all the lines has been read. Then console.writeLine sr.readLine. So this will read all the lines from the console. So this is you can see is a very much compact code here, that is less amount of code here. Next one is the stream writer. Stream writer is responsible for writing the files on the hard disk or on a certain channel. So first we have the packages here using system.io. Using system packages is for the for the dot write line. Similarly, system.io packages is for stream writer here. Now we have the package namespace. Right, files, it is a namespace which consists of multiple classes. First class is the program static void main string args. So that means it is a void main function and it has the parameter of the string args. Next, var path is equal to @e and then colons backslash file.txt. So it represents the file path here which is in the E directory and it is assigned to the var path. The var path is in fact our data types var and path is the variable and its data type is according to the values which has been assigned to this path variable. So here a string is assigned to the path, so that's why here the data type of the path variable will be the strings. Now similarly using var sw new stream writer path, it will write all the contents of this contents on this path or on this file. Now sw.writeLine, sw is the object or the variable and .line function write the text on this sw object. So today is a beautiful day, the strings here which will be physically written on these files. So this is the strings here which will be written here. Now dear student, we will execute this code. So for this purpose, click on the exit button. First you need to copy this 3 lines codes from here or you have to retype this code here. Now remove the previous examples code. For example, this is the previous examples code which I have removed here. Now you will see that these files will be created here. Now also you need to provide some package here. So automatically you can see that the using directory is not allowed here. So just click here or expand this. You need to click here. Show potential fixes. Click here. You see that this is the certain problem here. So just you can use here stream writer. So write stream if it's a problem for you. Write stream writer no stream. Now you can see that that problem has been fixed now. Now go to the debug menu. Click on start without debugging. When you will click on start without debugging, then the file will be created. Now you will trace that this file has been properly created on that particular drive, which is the E drive. So I will click on E drive. Now when I click on E drive, I will find this file here. The file is file.txt. Double click on this. When you will double click on it, so here you will you have to see here that the file has been created, but the data should be recorded or data should be typed here. Now dear students, here I will rewrite the using structure here. Now you can see that this requires little bit upgradation. It is not an error, but this requires upgradation. So click here or just highlight here, click on this small buttons, click on the upgrade to C# language version. So click just here. When you will click here, the upgradation will start here. So you can see that now the error has been eliminated and the problem has been fixed by upgrading the Visual Studio. Now you can see that there is no red line under the using keyword here. Now to execute this code, we need to execute this debug. Click on debugs buttons, click on start without debugging, click here. So when you will click here, the file will be created here. You can see that file has been successfully executed. I want to create a new file, just like here, for example, KUST file, and then again go to the debug menu, click on the start without debugging, and press any key to continue. Go to the E directory here and find out this files here. Double click this files so that you will see the output here. Now I will double click here. Now you can see that today is a beautiful day, which is a strings here that has been completely uh, typed here by using sw.writeLine function. Now you must need to understand then when you find out underline red line here using here, so just click here. You will see here a small buttons. Click on upgrade Visual Studio, then you will see that the problem will be fixed here. So that was the output here, which and the program has successfully created a file here. Now we will resume the slides. Next is the file streams. The file streams is a class which supports both synchronous and asynchronous read and write files operations. The stream reader and stream writer works with the text data while file stream works with the bytes. So here stream writer file streams class, that is the file stream class, it works with the bytes. Bytes mean that it can read and write every types of files, including any sort of the text here. So here we will perform the Russian Cyrillics to file. So that means we will write some Russian typing here, and then the file will be stored in the Russian number. So this is the Russian text. First, we have defined a path here using var path is equal to @e file2.txt. This defined the path here. Then we are using var fs is equal to new file stream path comma file mode dot append, so that here the file will be created and the data will be appended in that particular file using the file streams class. So basically here the file stream is a function, and here we have defined strings of some Russian language here. Now byte array is created here. Byte is equal to new UTF-8 encoding dot get byte text. So here get byte text is in a function which will transfer this string file into the arrays using the UTF-8 encoding structure. So Unicode UTF is a Unicode transformation format of 8, that is Unicode transformation format 8 encoding schemes. It can encode any types of text, even in the Chinese, the Arabic, the Urdu, English, any types of text will be encoded here, and the text is stored here in the bytes array. Now fs.write bytes 0, bytes dot length, it will write all the bytes in this files using this directory, that is in the E directory. Dear students, next examples is very much interesting and very much important. Here we will perform the XML text reading in the C#, and we will use XML text reader class in the C#. So we can use the streams to read XML data, but XML text reader is a class used to read the extensive markup language files in the C#. So sometimes you need to read all the information from the XMLs onto our applications. So here the XML files will be in fact read from the files, and important data will be provided to our applications. So we have the following XML text file, that is student info.xml. If we have this XML files, and this XML files contain information about the students, and the file should be stored student info.xml. So here is the the start of the XML document. Version 1.0 encoding is UTF.8, which is in fact Unicode transformation format 8. And here the tag of the student as starts here students tags. So student name tag Ahmad, name close, location start Lahore, location close, and student close. A new student has been started here. Students name Aman slash name, location Karachi slash location students close. Then we have start of the student's name Vicky, name, location Islamabad, close of the location, and students close and students files closed. This was the XML files. Now we have C# XML text readers. First we have the packages are the libraries has here using system.io, using system.text, and using system.xmls. IO is for the filing, text for is here for a certain function. For example, when you want to perform the encoding or decoding, then we use the text. XML is used for the XML reader class here. Next, we have the namespace file stream X. So it will create a namespace, and the namespace is the file streams which consist of multiple classes, class programs, static void main string args. It is our void main function where the program execution is starting from here. Then we have the usings directives. XML reader is a class here. Reader is the object. XML dot create, and here these files will be read into the reader object of the XML reader class. So all the statement will be read here, and the statement will be multiple information that are has been stored here. Now while reader dot read, it is a while function, a while loop. So it says that all the information are read from here. So while reader dot read, if reader dot is start element. So if it is the start elements means that there is a start tags here. Switch, here is the switch case. Reader dot name dot two strings. That means that here all information will be read here from this files, and its name will be typecasted to strings here. So here the name is the file name, for example, student info. Now case name, if there is the name element or the tag here, then system.console.title name of the student is this. So the name of the student will be printed here. Reader from the reader.read to strings. Similarly, breaks here, that means new case statement will be appear here. Case, if case is location, then student system.console.writeline student location is reader dot two strings here. All the location will be read here. So that means that two values, that is name and location, will be read here from the XML. I will go back to the XML. You can see that there is two types of the tags. Here are attributes name and location of the students. So these two information will be read from the XML and it will be printed here. Now dear students, we will execute this code. So click on the escape button. When you click on the escape button, we have already Visual Studio. So just uh, remove the previous code from the Visual Studio and go to here and just copy the word main code from the slides and paste it here. So all the code has been pasted here. So here you have to correct some sort of the strings values here. So I have corrected. Now you can see that there is the errors. The errors are because we also require libraries. So I will import here the library using system.xml. So XML library is required here. This is the XML library which I have written here. Now go to the E directory. You will see that here is the student.xml. Similarly, we have studentinfo.xml. So this program is reading studentinfo.xml. So just compile and run this code. When we will compile and run this code, you will see the output that the name of the student is Ahmad, student location is Lahore, name of the student is Amin, and similarly student location is Karachi and Vicky and Islamabad. So all the information has been read from the XML files, and this program uh, displays all the informations. Now we will resume our slides. So this was the example how we can read the XML files from the XML files to the C# language. The next topic is directory info in C#. Directory info is a special class or a function which provides the directory informations to our applications. So directory info provides instant methods for creating, moving and enumerating through the directories and subdirectories. So that means that we can create a directory using this class. Similarly, we can move a directory, and similarly enumerating means that we can display all informations of the directories here and also the subdirectories. This is the example using system.io. Using system.io is a library here which provides the file functions. Similarly, using system.text libraries is a library here which provides information about certain text, and XML is not required here. Similarly, we have the namespace file streams X. So it is a namespace which consists of multiple classes. There is only one class program. Here is the static void main function, which is a C++ or C# main function, which means that program execution starts from here. We have the var directory info. It is a var data type of the directory info, new directory info in C directory info. We want to reading all the information of the directory info. Here string files directory dot get files path. Here all the information will be read from the C directory and it will be stored in the file arrays of the string data type. Directory info dir directory info dot get directories. This function will get all the directories and it will stores in the dirs arrays of the directory info. For each directory info subdirectories in directories, this is the for each loop, and it will displays all information until we have the elements in this subdirectory array. So here the subdirectory arrays is in effect the arrays which is instances of the dirs arrays. Well, dirs arrays we have declared here. So here we have declared another directory info subdirectory in dirs. System.console.writeline subdirs.names. Here all the information will be displayed here. That means that all the directory name will be displayed here. Here it will be the C directory. Next, for each strings file name in files, this loop will display all the files or the folders here. For each string file name in files, system.console.writeline files name. So all files name will be displayed here. Now, dear student, we will execute this code. So just click on the exit and copy uh, this wordman code from here up to here. Just and go to your programs. So remove the previous examples code here. I have removed the previous example code and place it here, new code. Click on the debug menu, click on start without debugging. So if there is certain errors, because the error is because there we required certain packages. So we need that particular package, or we have certain informations that this is not supported here. Now, dear students, also we require certain path here. So we will just write here C, and then you can type here double colon here. Now go to the debug menu and click on start without debugging. So when you click here, so you can see that all the information about the directory has been displayed here. For example, Windows user, text file system volume, and all the information about the C directories. That means that all the files or folders in the C directories has been displayed here. So just I have made some changes here. I will also make these changes here in the slides too. So here, right, C double slash better is to okay. So now this is the program which has read all the information from the directory. This is the output of this program. Now creating and moving a directory. So in the C Sharp we have system.io directory library which is responsible for creating or moving a directory or enumerations. So this is the examples here. It will create a directory to different directories and then move directories over another directory. So using system.io, then we have the namespace directory examples, class programs, static void main string args, directory.create directory temp. Here we will create first directory which is a folder. Then we have created another directory using the create directory function of the directory class, and the directory class is in the IO library of the C sharp. Then we have directory.move, that means that one directory will be moved over another directory. So temporary directory will be moved over the temp directory. Dear student, you need to execute this code and you have to test this code. Dear student, this is the end of the class. Now, these are two different books. You should read these books for your knowledge. And this book is very much a good books. You must have to download these books. And still, if you have any question, you can ask the questions through the email. My email is m.kadim@kust.edu.pk. I will wait for your question and will respond immediately as soon as I get them. Thank you very much.